Hello everybody, welcome to Dane Stupid for the 12th of June 2016. I cannot comprehend the amount of stupidity going on to this entire weekend in the gaming realm, so I'd rather compile them all up in a video by ripping off Sargon. Hey, don't blame me, he did that too. Anyway, I cannot convey these three news without taking Sargon's format of bullshit debunking, so without further ado, let's get straight to it. First on the chopping block, New York Times publishes actual lies to misrepresent gamers. As if my attack on gamers video couldn't have more examples of people attacking gamers. An editorial about trolling that happens to troll an entire community. How is that for a meta conversation? That appeared to be Quen Hardy's goal in his recently published piece in the New York Times called How Gaming Helped Launch the Attack of Internet Trolls. It's a clickbait trolling hit piece that completely tends to circumvent logic, facts, and blatant truths in order to push a continued agenda of a specific socio-political sect that has been undermining and misrepresenting gamers for at least the past 4 years. I won't cover this one up because the original article is clickbait. I'd rather not pay full attention to it, and One Angry Gamer covered up most of the bullshit and they're doing a great job at it. Good work as always, One Angry Gamer. Seriously, check their site out, it's good stuff. In other news, Watch Dogs 2 and the Steam users who hate black people. Written by Jim Sterling, the same guy who bullied the game developer for putting trannies in their game. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. So, from this article alone, it's official, guys. Steam users are now part of the KKK. We have another hit piece to the 95% of Steam users. God damn, I need to revert back to my Steam is toxic videos. 95% of Steam users now hate black people. Put that right on a fucking list. We now live in a world where social justice warriors are being blamed for anything even slightly deviating from the ubiquitous I should have done this with his accent. We now live in a world where SJWs are being blamed for anything even slightly deviating from the ubiquitous and the abundant. So it is that the appearance of a black protagonist in both Mafia 3 and Watch Dogs 2 have made some people upset, some really miserable, perpetually offended people. Yeah, those absolutely raging gamers who hated on Mafia 3 solely because of the main character's race. Oh! Those absolutely abhorrent racist gamers that hated the Watch Dogs 2 trailer because of the main character's race. Oh! The absolutely raging gamers who had the Infinite Warfare trailer because it has robots in there. Nah, who am I kidding? It's because the game looks like shit. So Sterling, mate, do you know why people kept blaming on the social justice warriors? Because they're the ones asking for games to be more diverse, but at the same time accuses the entire gaming community for being racist for completely arbitrary reasons. Gamers are racist, gamers are misogynist, gamers are sexist, oh my god, gamers are angry. Yeah, no fucking shit, you guys started this. Right now when we notice actual fucking diversity in games, that only reminds us to guys who call us gamers for being racist. We are reminded of absolutely abhorrent people who throws accusations of sexist, racist, and misogynist on a daily fucking basis, which they ironically throw out to gamers because gamers are mostly play straight white males. If you're gonna complain that gamers are angry that we shouldn't blame on the social justice warriors, check on a fucking mirror. You started this mess. With that being said, despite what Jim says on the front cover, that doesn't make the Steam users complaining about the black guy any less moronic. Let me give you a scenario. Let's say that I work at DC to make a Netflix series based on anything DC related. Well, I want to make a Netflix series starring all the bad girls. Not because I want diversity, but because I find them interesting. I want to put a realistic spin on their origin story. Stephanie, Cassandra, Barbara. I want to see more of their humanity because they all have potentials to be amazing characters despite not having to put a costume on. So I put the trailer on YouTube and I guarantee that there's always gonna be that moron that says, oh my god, you are pandering to feminism. This is SJW bullshit. Dude, I just want to make a show about the Batgirls. I have no agenda. I just want to make a good show. Why can't I make a good show based on the Batgirls? This is the kind of moron that Jim Sterling addressed in the article, and I have to agree, they specifically are fucking morons. We don't like SJWs, no doubt, but we all have to admit that there are morons on the anti-SJW side, the same way there are morons on everywhere. Now, before I start losing subscribers for saying that, let's ask another equally important question. Do these morons populate the majority of the anti-SJWs or the majority of gamers? Well, first of all, you should check out that these comments came from the Steam forums. You can type in any random words and people can interpret that in a million ways. However, the words that you say will be louder, clearer, and a hell of a lot more understandable and a hell of a lot more comprehensible if you actually speak it out on a video and publish it on the internet. Words on the internet, they're just not loud enough. There are tons of people who are anti-SJW, or at least against the SJW rhetorics, with louder voices than him, by the fact that they make videos instead of typing in comments, and they have thousands of followers, you know, like this guy, 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 this girl, this girl, this guy, this guy, and let's not forget this fucking hack. These are loud voices of the anti-SJWs, or people who are against SJW rhetorics and arguments, who have thousands and thousands of followers by the mere virtue that they make videos about them. Not these morons on Steam. Have you ever checked through one of their channels, mate? Have you ever watched any of your videos? Have you checked on the responses of every video that they made? Have you ever listened to any of them? As if that's not enough, I did a 1-hour research stream to find out if gamers really are against black people in video games. It turns out that from the recording of that stream, out of 398 forum threads on Steam, there are only 8 forum threads that I can safely classify as racist, and even then, I classify them as such based on the fact that they focus more on the character's race instead of anything else inside the game. So that's only 2.01% of the entire gaming community. The rest of the gamers complain about how Ubisoft downgrades Watch Dogs, how the first game is a failure, how they regretted buying the first game, how the PC port is a huge pile of donkey stick. You know, the stuff that matters to us gamers as consumers of this entire industry, not the stuff that matters to social justice warriors. So Jim Sterling, if you're gonna make a hit piece article towards the 95% of gamers, I think you should do some proper fucking legwork. But coming from someone who never actually does proper fucking legwork, why should I be surprised? In another news, the UK MPs call for a review of sexism in video.
Just stop. Just stop it. Stop. No. Just stop it. It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
I cannot believe that you guys said this with a straight face when the Middle Eastern rape gangs are still running rampant on your own fucking country. I mean, just poor Tommy Robinson, who got to experience governmental bullshit constantly, having to get imprisoned, all of that shit, for speaking out his opinions, actual concerning pressing issues at hand, are ignored by the UK MPs in favor of things that are completely fucking unimportant. Do you know why Brexit is a fucking thing? The Parisian daily Le Figaro reported that last week that Axel Lemar, the French Minister of Digital Affairs, has met with senior figures in the country's video game industry to discuss measures aimed at battling negative portrayals of women in gaming. Oh yeah, the French are also in, guys. The French are also gonna follow in the trend of the morons at EU who want to ban on hate speech. I'm gonna ask a serious question to all of you British MPs and French politicians. How is removing negative portrayals of female characters in video games get rid of sexism? I mean, I am a gamer and I am so much of a misogynist that my dream is to make a Batgirl TV series on Netflix to showcase how badass they are. I mean, so misogynistic, absolutely haram. The most famous video game franchise in history, Super Mario Bros., frequently sees the helpless Princess Daisy in Princess Daisy? It's Princess Peach, you moron! Anyway, in need of rescue by Mario and Luigi. Why in the Lara Croft series, focusing on an ostensibly more positive role model, is she still depicted through such sexualized imagery? The last 2 Tomb Raider games don't really have sexual imagery of Lara Croft. In fact, it is praised by the social justice warriors. They don't have a sexualized Lara. But what they do have is this. Yup, female abuse. Forget the X-Men billboard poster, abusing the living shit out of Lara Croft in the first 30 minutes of the game is okay, while Mystique getting choked by Apocalypse is not. This is an even stupider and even weirder double standards that just proves to you that SJWs don't play anything that they complain about. As examples, they might raise a grin, but it should be possible for the video games industry to embrace women as positive role models without sexism and stereotypes they wouldn't allow to fester in other creative industries. Bayonetta, Samus Aran, This Ellie, That Ellie, Claire Redfield, Jill Valentine, Princess Farah, the chicks that Left 4 Dead, Heather Mason, Female Shepherd, the chicks at Overwatch, Faith, do you want me to go on? We're living in a world where women have the same equal opportunity to men, where out of 48% women who play video games, 6% of them identify as gamers, when out of 50% of men who play video games, 15% of them identify as gamers. 15% of males identify as gamers, 16% of females identify as gamers. That's 28% out of all the total number of people who identify as gamers. More than a quarter of them, female gamers, populates more than a quarter of the entire gaming population. Oh, and Newsweek? I don't get what you mean as sexism. You see two hot girls who cosplay as characters from Street Fighter actually playing Street Fighter? I mean, that's awesome, right? Well, apparently, this is sexism now. This is fucking sexism. Because of course it is. It's fucking Monday there. Traditionally minded gamers have hit back, gathering around the hashtag Gamergate, which began in 2014 in response to false claims about alleged impropriety between independent game maker Zoe Quinn and a journalist. The movement has gathered around a broad coalition of resistance to the perceived attempts to introduce social justice agendas into games and games journalism. What year is this, Newsweek? That's right, 2016. Your study of Gamergate hashtag is blown the fuck off. Gamergate is big at what year again? That's right, 2014. How many of these alleged journalistic improprieties exposed by Gamergate up until this point? A metric shit tons of them. I even covered some of them in my Attack on Gamers video. Stupid, 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 absolutely abhorrently stupid. Today's stupid and will continuously become stupid as time went on, as Sargon's weekly barrage of videos will show you. Go ahead and check this channel out if you want more of a taste of the human stupidity. So you know what? I'm gonna conclude this video with this brilliant ownage by Christina Hoff Summers herself to Trigger Puff because it's just glorious.
Stop talking to us like children! We do not welcome you!
That's all for the video today. If you like this, you could go ahead and click the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.